Hey, what is going on, everybody? You already know it's the 215 Boys post-game show. My name is Paul Spencer. Blues a little solo tonight. Man, what a game to talk about. Dallas Cowboys coming off a bye week. Staying home, it all started with a great feeling that, as Cowboy fans, we know that thing called Ring of Honor. Well, at halftime, we had a great guy go into the Hall of Ring of Honor here, DeMarcus Ware. One of the OG 94s, going back to the Haley day, going back to the Ware day. Then it got kind of bad with the Randy Gregory, but we don't even care about that cat. He sucks anyway. But hey, a Cowboys win today, man. Wow, not a win, an ass kicking. 43-20. Dallas just looked from the start a little bit upset in the very beginning. Dallas came out and it was just a great game from beginning to end, but there was a little, if and ands or buts out there. But I mean, 43-20, you can't ask for much more. Three phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. Which we'll be on here about 15 minutes. I want to go back and watch some other games that tonight. There's a couple good games that are out there tonight as well. But I mean, if you look at this game here, let's just go through some of the stats really quick here. Dak Prescott, man, what a game today! I mean, he showed his legs. 3 first downs running the ball, great situation running, knowing the sticks, knowing the yardage marker, getting that first down to keep the drive alive there. Dak, 25 for 31. Damn, that's a hell of a thing right there. I mean, his QB was 133 today. He had one pick, which was a misread. I mean, your offensive linemen are big. The defensive linemen are big as well. You got to get the ball up a little bit. To me, that ball was a little bit behind. I believe it was to Ferguson, of course, coming across the middle. He could have waited maybe like another half second to a second, let Ferguson get out of the clearing lane there to throw it. That's one of the things I don't like as a quarterback, throwing the ball over the middle. Dak is 6'3", but he can't throw that ball over the top. But it was a dart right down the middle, so it was touched by a linebacker, which caused the pick there as well. But Dak, 25 for 31, 304, 10 yards basically, 9.8 yards on the sticks there, 4 TDs. Okay. He went down 3 sacks, 3 for 22, which were big sacks as well. Kicked us out of, a first down marker going on a third. I believe it was a second and like 9. Got a sack, so we'll put it behind his 6, a third and like 17. Had to punt that one away. But overall, Dak played a great game. I mean, then you got some Cooper rush time. Cooper came into the game 2 for 3, 3 yards. Didn't do much. One, the quick little passes here. But hey, it is what it is. Dak had a hell of a game, 25 for 31, 304, 4 TDs, 1 pick. Tony Pollard didn't have to do much today. He had an average game today, 12 carries, 53 yards, average 4. Nothing really a big burst. I mean, I always talk about positives and negatives here. Are we missing Zeke from last year, where it was that 1-2 punch where he excelled a lot, giving Pollard the break? 12 catches, 53 yards. I mean, not the biggest day here. Didn't have to do much as well, but the game was under control in the first quarter here, being up, of course, right away. But Dak even had, I said earlier, he had some good yards there. 4 carries, 19 yards. He moved the sticks twice today. Great movement on the ball for him. Knew where the yardsticks were. Got the 2 clear first downs on a scamper there. One was a 9-yard run on 3rd and 8, and the other one was a 7-yard run as well on a 3rd and 7. So we continued the sticks moving there, which was a great thing also. Rico got the ball, 5 carries, 18 yards, not much there. CD even had a jet sweep off the edge there for 1 carry for 12 yards, got a first down on that one as well. But the player of the game, man, let's talk about this dude. You already know it's number 88. If you guys say 88, I guess can't see it. But Lamb, CD Lamb, man, 12 catches, 158 yards, 2 TDs, 14 targets. That connection is there. We all know that Dak Prescott loves that one connection. CD Lamb, of course, I heard the announcer Greg Olsen and I was watching another broadcast today as well. And they said, hey, when you got a Lamb out there, sometimes you don't need to look to your progressionist course. But, as you always do as a quarterback, you have to. But 14 targets, 12 catches, 158 yards, 13.2 yards per catch, 2 TDs, long of 26, nothing deep ball. The longest pass play that we had today was to CD Lamb at 26 yards. Brandon Cooks had a nice one for 25. He had 3 catches for 49 yards. 1 TD. Finally, he got on the books there. To open the game, Jake Ferguson was found in the end zone. 4 catches, 47 yards, 1 TD. That was an 18-yard catch in the end zone there. And let's just say it, Dallas scored in the red zone twice today. Pretty damn good. Finally got in the red zones today. But, let's talk about some other plays here. On defense, Dron Bland, leading the league with 6 picks this year. We all talked about when Trayvon Diggs went down, what's going to step up. 2 years ago, during the college draft, when we got this kid, I said, I was on my 215 Boy show on Wednesday night, 9:30. I did say this kid, DaRon Bland, is going to be something special. He's a ball hawk. He's physical. He doesn't jump routes, but when he does, he's clear 80% getting the ball or batting the ball down as a PDI, a pass deflection attempt there. So he usually does that. But DaRon Bland is just stepping up incredibly. A lot of times he did play the slot last year when Trayvon Diggs was in the game. But this year he's moved up to the outside starting corner opposite of Gilmore. But this kid, he's excelled, leading the league with 6 picks this year, 3 picks for pick 6 already this year. Today it was a great jump route. It was a pretty, I want to say a bad ball. I don't want to say then taken away from DaRon Bland. It was a pick 6 for him, but it was a bad ball for Matthew Stafford. He clearly misread Cooper Kupp coming out of that break, but DaRon Bland still held his ground, took it to the house, jumped the ball, took it to the house. But man, 6 picks for this year going through, 6 picks already from DaRon Bland. He's stepping up. I just see this kid being something special. Next year, I don't want to look forward to next year, but I think Gilmore's going to be on his way out. Of course, he's getting up there in age, and they're really picking on him a lot through our first games there. But I think when Trayvon Diggs comes back healthy, we're going to have a 1-2 punch a corner. Everybody talks about Slay and Bradbury. I think next year we're going to have the solid top 2 corners in the league. DaRon Bland opposite of Trayvon Diggs when he comes back healthy. But this defense is flying, man. When you hold this team, this Rams team coming into this game here, you think about it. Their passing was pretty damn good. Stafford was I think 3rd in the league in passing yards so far for the year. You hold Puka, the 3 catches, 43 yards, Long of 22, and then you have Cooper Kupp, 4 catches for 21 yards. A lot of people say, you got to take away their best receivers. Well, they have 2 of them. Puka Nukia, whatever they say what his name is. He's a nasty rookie. He's leading the league in rookie receptions, catches, yards, TDs already. And he's just something special. The only touchdown given up was by Ben Skoranek, their tight end. For some reason, we struggle with tight ends. I don't know what it is. Dallas has always done that in the middle of the zone there. They've always struggled in the middle of the zone versus the tight end. You go back to even when the Eagles played us, Goddard, of course, going back to the Zach Ertz days, going back to those. Hawkinson killed us this year. It's just something that we struggle. But it was early in the game. They gave it up. It was like a charity point to me. But this defense is just flying on the ball, man. You think about it, not many sacks today for the Dallas Cowboys. It was something that I heard one of the announcers say, like, well, Dallas isn't getting the sacks that they need to. Well, I guess you're not watching the game. I guess you're looking at stat-wise, for Defensive Player of the Year here. I don't do that. What I looked at is this defense, the front seven's getting to you. They're putting pressure. They're containing their zones. They're staying on the outside. They're playing containment football. Parsons can get in the backfield. We've seen it tonight. If you look at his numbers, he had 1 sack tonight. That was a clear, nasty sack. He batted the ball down on that one there. That was a recovery for Dallas as well. So, you look at these quarterback hits. Parsons had 3 quarterback hits today, okay? He's getting pressure on the ball. That's the thing where it opens up. You have the front 4 there. You're looking at Odigizua. You're looking at these big boys up front. You're looking at these guys. These guys, Armstrong as well. Armstrong almost got, I think it was 3 pressures today where he's on Parsons' left. He's on Parsons' left there coming off the edge. And it's a lot of stunts where Parsons can't get through. Diggy's containing the lane. And that's what you want to see as Dallas Cowboy fans there. You're getting front containment up there front. They're staying in their lanes. They're staying in their gaps, which keeps, a quarterback from looking downfield and progressing his routes. And the other thing is covered sacks. You look at this defense back there. Gilmore's playing solid this week. The only person that I look at this week that kind of like is a little suspicious to me. A lot of people, like Jordan Lewis. I like him. He's a good hitter, but to me, he gets lost in assignment a lot, especially playing zone. To me, I don't know. He had 2 solo tackles, okay, but he got broke up on a couple there, coming off like a little swing route. Of course, the one that he missed was Ben Skoranek. He was actually on Ben Skoranek there, and he just left him wide open. When he plays consignment football in the back end, I think he gets lost a little bit. Coming from a safety position where you're a hitter, it's hard to read progression of zone, who you have, who you're passing off. If you're playing zone, you have your zone. But if you're playing man-to-man and you pass up on a double two deep safety, that's where I think he gets lost a little bit, especially when he comes down the box as well. So that's something I did see. One person that I really want to talk about, Sam Williams. I mean, he's not a rookie anymore. It's his third year here. He had one hell of a pump block. I mean, the pressure was there. This kid, I love this kid's motor. I mean, when he first came out, I thought he was going to be like a Parsons 2.0. Not that caliber, of course. I mean, Parsons is elite. He's just a category of his own. But Sam Williams has that same kind of motor where he can actually get into the game, make some plays here. I love him on the defensive end side. He's a great rotation piece. I think he's probably going to be one of the starters coming up in the next year here as well. This team is very young, is what I'm seeing here. Dante Fowler even got in the game today. He had a great sack as well. I'm not sack, a pass breakup there. Tackle for loss is what I want to call it. It wasn't a sack, though. It was a running back situation there. But they're playing great. Malik Hooker's controlling the ends back there. Mozzie Smith got in the game. I'm a little surprised Mozzie hasn't been in a lot of games lately, coming from our draft pick here. First-round draft pick, I think he would see the field a little bit more. But with this front four here, I mean, you got a rotation here that's playing ball right now. Armstrong, of course, he's playing great ball. Hankins is playing ball. Gallimore's playing ball. And, of course, Parsons on the edge there. You got those front four. But I'd like to see him get a little bit more involved in the defensive scheme here. They always said, he has a pass rush, a bull rush, but he's not really good on stunts. So he's really a bull rusher. But I think if he can actually switch over to maybe the right tackle spot other than the left tackle spot, I think he would progress a little bit better being on Parsons' side. So I think that's what I want to see with Mozzie Smith getting into the game a little bit more situational-wise to give him a little bit more depth. Because next week, and I'm not going to talk about it today, but we play the Eagles next week. It's a running QB situation. They run a lot of pulling blocks. Kelsey on the edge. I mean, after the center block, he pulls out so much, and he can get after the second level here. And I think Dallas's defense is going to have to keep him off the field, of course, number one. But I think they're going to have a lot of rotation. So I think Mozzie should get a lot of touches next week on the line there as well. But this game was just a great game for the Dallas Cowboys, 43-20. I mean, you look at the numbers here. It's just something that it could have been worse than really what it was. Dak had the one pick, of course, which was a bad ball there. But overall, this game was just really good for the Dallas Cowboys. Like when you hold the Rams to that kind of offensive not explosion actually. Royce Freeman had 9 for 44. Darrell Henderson 12 for 31. Total yardage on the ground for them was 24 carries, 92 yards. Average 3.8. You don't even move the sticks with that there. So. In the receiving, their top receiver was the running back coming up on one screen and a little like a jet wheel there, right out like a little what I call like a sort of like a wheel route, but that went for 32 yards. That was in the second half I think it was like the first drive there. But their leading receiver was Darrell Henderson, 3 for 54. But if you keep this team down to 18 pass receptions for 204, 1 TD, it's something telling you about the Dallas Cowboy defense. They fly to the ball. It's something I'm very proud of this week. And, of course, special teams. I always say Cavante Turpin. This kid, man, he almost broke one today. He almost broke 2 to the house. One was a block in the back by our team here. I forgot who even the hell that was, honestly. I was just jumping up and down for Cavante Turpin to get in the end zone here. Because, during my show, I always say when Cavante gets the ball, it's just I jump up, and as soon as he touches the ball, I yell, it's Turpin time. But he took one back to the house. Unfortunately, there was a play called. That play was called back with a block in the back on our team there. The next one, he did get a nice run as well. He got one he averaged 44. The one that he took to the house was a 42-yarder, and then he had a 44-yarder that was called back. The 63 was called back, I'm sorry, so it didn't count there. Other than that, he had 2 for 44 yards average there. 63-yarder was a long one. That was when he broke it down to their 30-yard line. Man, I tell you, when he touches the ball, it's just nothing but speed there. Aubrey was, automatic as well, 2 for 2, long of 55 or 58. Great. Anger had a great game today. He only punted twice today. He didn't really have to punt the ball. Dallas's offense was just so consistent. 2 punts, 93 yards, average of 46. Inside the 20 was 1. One was when Dallas got held around inside their own 30-yard line. They got it at the 32-yard line, but a great kick, average 47 yards per punt there. But the one thing I want to talk about really quick, I'm going to stay on for about 5 more minutes here, is I'm hearing rumors about, maybe a Derrick Henry, that he's going to be on the trade block this week, because it is over, on Tuesday. I believe the trade deadline is over. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that there's a lot of teams interested in him. And then after seeing what the Dallas Cowboys did today, the only thing that I'm missing right now is a true 1-2 back for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't believe, Tony Pollard is the back that can carry it, the rock, a 3-down dimensional back carrying the ball, 25, 30 times a game. I don't see that. Last year, he averaged 12 to 17 carries a game, and he averaged almost 94 yards per game last year with Zeke in the backfield, as a 1-2 punch. Zeke averaged 44 yards a game. Pollard was like 80. I think it was 94 yards total, if I'm not mistaken. So that right there tells me a lot that he's not really carrying the rock as much as he does as last year. Of course, 12 carries today, really didn't need him today, 53 yards. But I think they do miss a big back, and I think if they go out and get Derrick Henry, I think that is going to be a situational boost for them too, having that big back. But the only problem is, there's only one rock on the offensive side, and you got great offensive wide receivers out there. Of course, CD, Brandon Cooks is actually showing up now. Great catch, 2 touchdowns back-to-back in games now. Of course, you have the great tight ends. Ferguson is out shooting up, and then Shoemaker sitting on the bench as a draft pick. He's going to be that 1-2 punch. We have Hendershot still on the shelf right now, so you have that multi tight end room with 3 tight ends there, of course. But if you go out and get a Derrick Henry or something like that, I mean, that's the only animal that I want. There's 2 people that I could see a trade block that would just boost this team. One would be Derrick Henry, who was my ideal pick. But what do you give up for him? I'm hearing a lot of people say, they want a draft pick next year. I'm fine with that because the Dallas Cowboys are young. Okay, we still have to sign some people. We have Parsons, Lamb coming up on a deal. Also, you got to think about, Tony Pollard again was the fact that he franchised this year. Of course, you can franchise him next year, and running backs make between, I want to say, $8 to $11 million top. So if you franchise him for 10 point, that's a fine deal right there. You're not getting that extra 3 or 4 years on the books there. But if you go out and get Henry, you have that 1-2 punch. You can sign him to a 2-year, $22 million deal and have that 1-2 punch for the future of the next 2 years. Because we know Henry, he's a beast, man. I mean, you give him the ball, he can run the ball. They call him King Henry for a reason, So I think that would be a great ideal pickup, too, if they can pull that off. Because if you give the first-round pick away, you're not really giving away a lot. Dallas is, I believe, 4th in the NFL total right now for, standing-wise. And sitting there, I think you're going to be right around like 28, 24. Even if they progress during the season, you're probably going to be in the high 20s. So you're looking between maybe 23 to possibly, 31 in the NFL draft, depending on how far you go in the playoffs. So that's really not going to be, a huge downfall next year, giving away your first-round pick for a King Henry. So I would go ahead and go with that one. The other one is that I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Davante Adams, of course, from the Raiders coming over. To me, I think you're going to give up a lot more for a Davante Adams because, this goes back to, Cowboy fans remembering Amari Cooper's, contract when they got him from Oakland as well. And this time it's from the Raiders, but it's in Sin City with Las Vegas this year. So I think if you get Cooper, you're going to have to pay up a little bit more. Wide receivers can make, $16 to $22 million a year based on their progression. Davante Adams is one of those top 3 elite wide receivers in this game. So I think that's going to be a wash. Why do you want another wide receiver? Yes, he's a game changer, of course. You put him with CeeDee Lamb on the outsides. You got a 1-2 punch that's to be reckoned with any team. No defense, pick your poison, what do you want to do? But to me, if there's a trade, I'm going to go out and get Derrick Henry. Like I said, if you go out and get him, you're solid on the offensive running ball. You can run him with him and Pollard. But, that's for another day. If there's something breaking, make sure you tune into our Twitter page, Out of the Box Sports there. We will keep you updated as well. So, guys, before I get out of here, I appreciate everybody checking in. I'll be back next Wednesday night at 9:30, talking more about this game in depth-wise, going to what we've seen a little bit more in depth, talking about plays and stuff like that, where we've seen what was good. But, hey, it's Dallas Cowboy win. On to next week. Staying home again. We're playing those nasty-ass piece of shit Philadelphia Eagles. So we're playing them next Sunday. Can't wait for that one. It's rivalry week. A lot of people call it hate week. I don't hate any team. I dislike teams because hate is a strong word. That's a word we shouldn't use in our daily routine. Hate is something that the reason why the world is what it is today. So I don't hate any team. I dislike them. It's rivalry week, It's dislike week to me. But before we get out of here, guys, I do want to save our sponsors really quick. There's another game tonight on, Sunday Night Football. So you're going to stay up a little bit late tonight. Make sure you get Monkey Cold Coffee, the evolution of flavor-infused coffee. Bourbon chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, Samaritan blend, the newest blend, organic blend, Perula, Florida. Make sure you use promo code OTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Get your swag as well, T-shirts, K-cups, coffee mugs, travel mugs, cold brew diffusers, They got it all for you. So make sure you use promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Also, guys, 1-800-HURT-123. Best attorney in Philadelphia. Super lawyer, top 5 in PA. Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. Motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workman's comp, personal injury claims. 3 office locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. First, the Garden State, Cherry Hill. 3 Greensford Lane. Philadelphia, PA, 1628 JFK. And my neck of the woods in Pittsburgh, PA, 500 Grant Street. Guys, also, here is our new lineup coming up this week. Starting Monday, we have something for everybody. We do have one more show tonight. It is going to be the Sixers final against the Blazers tonight, home opener for the Philadelphia 76ers. But tomorrow, we have a huge packed slate for you for the entire week. Starting Monday, Joystick Junkies for Video Gamers, Sully Squad. Tuesday, Rangers on the ice, Commanders, Gridiron. Wow, I can't wait to hear Steve about that game. Eagles, Commanders. Wow, it's going to be a good show there. Extra innings talking MLB sports. World Series is intact. Batcave talking New York Mets. Also World Series, college football frenzy. What a week in college football. So make sure you check out myself and Bill Furman at 8 p.m. I'll be back Wednesday night, them 215 boys, 9:30. Thursdays, the NFL Weekly Pick'em Show with myself and Dan. NFC East War Room, 7 p.m. 4 hosts, 4 teams. NFC East War Room. What can go wrong there, right? 4 guys talking some football in the best division in football. Let's put it that way. Thursday night, we have a Sixers game versus the Raptors. Friday night, we have the 10 o'clock in the morning, we have Silver and Black Layer, Raiders, Kings, Atomic Drop, talking Crown Jewel pay-per-view. Saturday, the Golden Dome versus Clemson, recap, and then night, and of course, the Big Blue Power Hour, Cowboys, Eagles pregame, Sixers versus Suns, and Cowboys, Eagles postgame. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. My name is Paul Spencer. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Until then, I'll see you Wednesday night, 9:30, them 215 boys in the house. And you listen, Dallas Cowboys, 43-20 over those Los Angeles Rams. On to next week, right? Biggest week of the season. One of the 2 biggest weeks of the season for us. Eagles come to us, down in Big D. Let's get a win, continue. And, hey, Tyron Smith, please make sure you don't fall out of the bed and have a little neck injury again, brother, because they need you next week. All right? So until then, my name is Paul Spencer. You're watching the 215 Boys postgame. Dallas Cowboys 43, Los Angeles Rams 20. On to next week. Until then, see you next week.